military units, we're going to be looking at some more of the badass custom loadouts from one of my favorite guests of the show, Dust Monkey. Stay tuned. It is time for Airsoft Radio. Music never gets old. I love that as the intro. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Airsoft Radio, your weekly Airsoft live show discussing all things Airsoft, whether it's news, opinions, or just some general discussions. I'm your host, Graham from Airsoft Nation, and with me is just one co-host this week. We have Sarah, aka callsign Tactiquin.
Hello.
Hey, Sarah. Good to have you here. Unfortunately, Jim cannot be here for the show this evening, so he will be missed, but the show must go on. Well, we'll find out about that next week when I'm not here. But our special guest for the evening, joining us for episode 19 of Airsoft Radio, but a previous guest to, I think it was called Airsoft Nation Live, and then I think it was just Airsoft Nation. It's Callum Walker, aka Dust Monkey. Welcome, mate. Thank you for coming on. Yeah, mate, every time I look at your backdrop in your workshop there, it just looks absolutely amazing.
I do set it up beforehand. If I didn't set it up, it would just look like an absolute tip.
It just looks awesome. I was just saying, if you're watching us live here, that I literally walked into my room really late from the train. I walked in, my patchboard fell down. I'm in the middle of changing where everything is, so you can kind of see a bit of the green screen, a bit of a makeshift desk there, and it was like, oh, I'm with Callum this week, and he's going to blow me away with a backdrop.
No, it's not, I didn't. I was really hoping I'd have another set of that Apex armor to have up here. But it had to be shipped off before we could do the show. So I didn't want to piss off a client by having it here rather than with him. So
tell you what, that is some badass armor. We have the photo of it there.
Pretty cool.
That is a really nice bit of kit there. And you gave one away, right?
Yeah, so me and Apex, because I've actually known Apex. I knew Apex without realizing he was Apex. So I messaged the page once, and it was like, oh, by the way, it's Sam. And I was like, oh, all right, yeah, well, I've known you for ages. So because of how popular that set was, me and him agreed to do a giveaway together. So he donated the chest piece to me, and then then the winner got to pick what paint job I did. So yeah, that was a nice little joint giveaway, really.
Yeah, very cool. And I did see a lot of people had entered it. I know it's
yeah, I think we had like 400 or 500 people enter. I think. Wow,
very cool.
Yeah, which means I mean, Apex deserves to be out there a bit more, which is why I did it, because his like social media is like tiny, and I thought your stuff's amazing. People should know about it, so let's do something that gets your name out there a little bit more.
No, that's awesome, and we're definitely going to dig into that, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who don't know who you are. I haven't seen you, if they haven't seen this show, if they're newer to Airsoft Radio. But before we do that, guys, if it is your first time here, and ladies, of course, welcome to the show. We are live every single Monday, 8 p.m. GMT, both here on YouTube and Facebook. And if you are watching us live right now, don't forget you can leave your thoughts and opinions on the topics. You can ask your questions. You can ask for tips, all down there. And we will do our very best to feature them throughout the show. And don't forget, if you are on the go, you can't listen to the whole show, don't forget you can always catch us out on your favorite podcasting platform, whether it is Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Spotify. We've even got some Alexa listeners who... I just pictured her, doing the washing up or something, listening to a podcast. So guys, definitely go check that out, and don't forget to join in with the conversation, because it's definitely here for you guys to enjoy and take part in. Now, Callum, before we kind of find out what everyone's been up to in the last week, for anyone who isn't aware of who you are and what you do, fancy giving us a quick minute run through as to what Dust Monkey is?
So Dust Monkey is a place where you can get any loadout you want from any film, game, book, comic, just about anything, and I'll make it, I'll weather it. And that includes guns. I do a full gun service as well, which is external mods. Don't ask me to upgrade a gun internally unless you want a really broken gun. I use other people for that. But yeah, pretty much I just make weird and wonderful bespoke loadouts that make you look a little bit different. You know, I've done a lot of work recently for film and TV, which I can't say anything else about due to extensive contracts that have been signed that stop me from saying anything else. But yeah, other than that, I make weird and wonderful loadouts that don't look like anything else you've seen. That's pretty much mainly what I do.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to bring up some photos very shortly because there's some crazy stuff there. And James is already in the comments from YouTube saying, so you could make a Splinter Cell loadout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really short answer there. Yeah. Depends which one though, because some of them, like I'm fairly positive in some of them, Sam Fisher's wearing a really weird, like spray-on Metal Gear Solid style onesie. So that could be interesting trying to do, but yeah.
You give it a try, huh? Basically, anything is possible. You'll give it anything a go. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm lucky enough to know a lot of fellow sort of crafters who, if I haven't got the skills, I get them to do a portion of the work, and then they hand over to me to finish off.
So, are you completely self-taught, or?
Oh yeah. Oh,
wow.
Yeah, pretty much. I just started throwing stuff at other stuff and figuring out what worked.
So what started your interest in doing that? Was it LARPing that led you to your business, or?
Yes and no. It was kind of a mixture of the two. So I've been airsofting for significantly longer than I've been doing LARP, but the thing that sort of the thing that made Dust Monkey into a thing was a friend of mine invited me to like a sci-fi airsoft LARP, and I wanted to go as like a dystopian like PMC. Yeah. So I did a weird mask, which it is out. Hang on, okay, it's right there. So I made that.
Oh, cool.
So that was the mask, and then because of how I wanted that to look, I then went and did chest carrier and M4 and weathered weird sci-fi armor, and I really enjoyed it. So it just kind of started finding excuses to do more stuff like that.
Wow, awesome.
So it wasn't one thing or the other which started it. It was just a healthy mix of two.
Yeah, of course. That's how it all starts. Yeah, I'm very sort of anti-camo and looking sort of like everybody else, very cookie cutters. So I might be asking you to make me something.
Yeah, this is right up your alley, isn't it?
It's like
non-military.
Yeah,
traditional military.
Weird thing is with when I first got into airsoft, as I said to Graham, I think in one of the other times I've been on the show, is when I first started off, everything I did had to be. It was all impressions, and it all had to be clean and had to be exact. So I did like German Bundeswehr, I did like Black Hawk Down, Ranger, and it was all very like not quite cookie cutter, but it was camo you'd seen 1,000 times before. In no way did it stand out. And then I sort of went away from airsoft for a little bit, and when I came back, I've not done anything remotely normal since. So everything's just like everything's unusual now.
Fantastic. And the events that you go to, are they mostly in Europe, or have you been to the USA?
I've not been to any in America yet, although I've had an invite out to a couple which sounded pretty nuts. I think it's in one of the southern states. They do like a really hardcore, immersive, I think it was like Cold War, sort of US Marine airsoft event, but they also make extensive use of like blank fire. So they offered to like fly me out and ride around in a Humvee with a blank firing 50 cal and all that sort of weird and wonderful stuff. So I've not gone out to America yet, but there's a few events out there which sound like they've been really, really fun. But I've been to a few in Europe, and then obviously a lot in the UK.
Yeah, we are definitely going to be talking about one of these events. But I know we've spoken about in the past, but it's one which I think, Sarah, this was the video, without giving away, this is the video that I showed you, I think the first time that we spoke about Dust Monkey in the vehicles.
Oh, was it the Road War?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I will show it up on screen in a minute. But before we dig into that, let's just find out what everyone has been up to this week. Because, Callum, you had an interesting event that you attended.
I spent my weekend being a Saxon in the Dark Ages, hitting people with swords, and spending 7 hours cooking a lamb's leg.
And these are real swords. We're not talking about plastic foam stuff, right?
Oh, no. These ones aren't real ones, but it's a bit of a more hardcore event. So you do tend to come away with ample bruises, cuts. I've got a friend who messaged me a few hours ago, and it was his first time being there. He was, I think I've broken my hand. So he's off to get an X-ray tomorrow. So no, but I do the real weapon thing. But
I was gonna say, because you're a commentator, right, for the real weapons.
Yeah, so I do the commentary for the World Championships for the HMB Battle of the Nations, which is the World Championships for full contact medieval fighting.
Wow.
It's not
insane.
It's not a reenactment. You don't know who's going to win beforehand. You only know who's won when you're not the one on the floor.
Wow.
I think we spoke about this before, and I know someone who is part of the Airsoft Nation community is actually a competitor in there, and he sent me some of his videos of them training and battling it out, and it's intense.
Yeah, interesting. That's how I know Apex Tech, because Apex Tech is run by a guy called Sam, and me and Sam both used to fight in the same club. So Apex Tech, other than being ex-military, he also used to be a fighter in the sport of medieval combat.
See if I can bring up a video of it here.
Fighting?
Yeah, I was going to say I'm going to be very nervous as to what comes up here, because
just type in Battle of the Nations hardest hits or something, you'll find something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not for kids.
I know we get a lot of kids at the events.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
what,
because
little ones, or
what kid doesn't love knives? I mean, I've got my 4-year-old absolutely loves it.
Oh, so fantastic!
This one's a few years old. This is 2013 in Poland, but there we go.
Oh yeah, this is a good video.
Yeah, so these are people in full-blown medieval kit, and obviously this is not so much airsoft related, but this is something that you do, and it's something that you've been involved with. And I can imagine a lot of airsofters would love to do this. I mean, literally just knee dropping people in full suits of armor, and just going to town with each other.
Yeah, it's good fun.
These are some serious hits, though. I mean, looking at the armor, the helmets after the shield bashes and the swords have come down. Yeah, they can be rather brutal, can't they?
Hey, it's proper rough, isn't it?
I mean,
wow.
you can get. Oh yeah, everything's got to be legit.
Yeah.
The only difference is the weapons aren't sharp. That's it.
Yeah.
Because we don't kill anyone.
One guy's in the crowd. But yeah, I think that's it's absolutely incredible, and it was just something that when I saw you, I think I saw you on a live show doing it, or I saw a video on your profile when you were out there. I was like, wow, because this was in France, right?
No, the World Championship this year was in Serbia. The year before that, it was in Rome. Year before that, it was in Barcelona. Year before that, it was in Prague. So, I mean, I get to go to some pretty cool cities.
Yeah.
And also, I used to fight, but now I get to sit down and watch my favorite sport for 9 hours a day.
We got a brilliant comment coming here from Chris from Extreme there, saying it looks like a Friday night in Leicester. So yeah, if you guys are there in Leicester, there we go. Go help yourself. But man, that's an insane, incredible thing. And like I say, there was someone who shared some videos a good year ago of him training and stuff like that, because that's full contact,
Yeah. You don't get. I mean, the only way to get more real is if we'd killed someone, I guess.
No.
quite the spectator sport when there is.
Oh no, it's
So,
great
in
spectator
terms
sport.
in terms of injuries, what's the worst that you've seen or had yourself?
The worst one I had was these are fake now.
Well, for the podcast audience here who can't see, Callum's pointing to his teeth.
they just got punched straight out of my face.
Wow.
So no, that wasn't a bad injury. It was just annoying. You know, I had to go and have my nerve pulled out and a tooth drilled into my jaw and blah blah blah. So, but I mean, most of the injuries are pretty much similar to rugby. It's broken collarbones, broken fingers, dislocated shoulders, dislocated knees, broken noses, you know, little cuts. I've never seen anything like, you know, too crazy.
It's got to be way more fun telling the doctors how it happened than a rugby incident, isn't it? Really, so I got rugby tackled. It's so I was being dodging a sledgehammer.
Yeah, I got hit in the back of the head with an axe. Yeah. Have you told the police? No, I'm fine with it. Oh, okay.
I paid for it.
Yeah. It was my mate.
I actually wanted him to hit me.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll get him back next time.
Oh, lost the sound.
We lost Graham.
There we go. No, mute button was on by accident.
Oh yeah.
Clem Ford was like, yeah. I mean, that looks absolutely awesome, and a lot of fun. I don't know if I'd quite put myself out there for that one, and I'm sure
it's very cathartic. If you've had a rough week, nothing fixes it better than hitting someone with an axe.
Definitely.
Yes, I remember. I think he was watching you hitting a training target in your back garden.
Yeah, I did a test recently. How many strikes before a helmet is not wearable anymore? I mean, and obviously, normally a human doesn't stand still for 10 strikes to the head. But I did 10 strikes and then examined the helmet, and it was I couldn't get it on anymore. It was completely caved in. So yeah, that was fun.
Wait. So note to self: make sure you dodge a lot.
yeah, dodging is the first rule of dodgeball. Yeah,
exactly. Except for a lot more weight on you.
Yeah, well, I mean, only about 30 kilos to be honest with you. I mean, armor that we wear for the sport is pretty similar to what a soldier's running around in kit wise in terms of overall weight.
That's not as bad as I thought it was going to be then.
Yeah,
yeah, very cool. Now, in the airsoft industry, there are two things I want to talk about. First of all, an upcoming event that I'm attending. And the reason I'm promoting this is because it's going to be very cool. Where's the photo? There we go. I'm taking a long old trip to Glasgow in a couple of weeks' time in August. You can see there on the screen, it's the Depot Charity Weekender. So there's a full weekend games at the Depot in Glasgow. Phil Campion is going to be there. Andy from the Chess Off the Show is going to be there. Jet the Desert Fox and Unicorn Leia are going to be there. It's going to be a really cool weekend. It's a long old drive, though. It's going to be about a 7-hour drive each way. And I just caught up with the guys earlier on today, actually, at lunchtime, and we were just chatting about it. And they were like, how are you going to get there? And he was like, well, I'm at a wedding on Friday night, and I've got to be in Glasgow for 8 a.m. There's no trains that run at that time, and there's no planes I can get to without a train. So I was like, I'm just going to go to the wedding, drop the wife home, and get in the car and just drive through the night.
That was a long drive on your own, mate.
Yeah, well, funny enough, someone today was like, oh, how are you getting there? I was driving, so I might end up swinging by doing a pickup on the way through. But yeah, if not, it's a rather long drive, but it should be an epic weekend. Looking forward. Got a load of new kit that I want to test out, so why not go fire it there? Plus, it's a massive CQB site. I know, Sarah, you're a fan of CQB.
Yes, definitely.
Do you still play a lot, Callum? I know you're a busy guy nowadays.
Yeah, not as much as I'd like to, but I'm hopefully heading to an airsoft skirmish with you at some point.
Yes, we spoke about this, didn't we?
Yeah,
we spoke about it since the last show.
I want to try and get down to Red 1 because they've got that urban site like just round the corner from me.
Is that the school?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, the school. So I want to get to that. Most of the ones I've done recently have been Vietnam events.
Yes.
Because I just got really, I did one Vietnam event and I just got horrifically hooked. So they are a huge amount of fun, and I can honestly say there's not many communities I've found from day one as hugely welcoming as like the NAMSOFT community. It's just like a really, really, really friendly bunch of guys and girls who just want to have fun. There's like zero competition involved. It's just have fun while looking like you're in Vietnam.
Yeah, as I said, there was a Vietnam event around my area. I want to say it was last weekend. I keep seeing the photos pop up now.
Yeah, that was ArcLight 2.
ArcLight, that was it.
Yeah, which I really wanted to get along to because because I love the NAM events, but also the last event I went to, I took along a late 60s model 35mm black and white camera.
Yes.
And I decided to be on the Sunday. I said to the organizer, I'm not going to take out my M60 because normally I'm a 60 gunner. I'm going to be like a a military press photographer. And so there was a unit of Navy SEALs who went, "Oh, you can come with us." And I was like, "Yeah, that's what every Navy SEAL wants: is an awkward, bumbling, overly equipped photographer." Like they're trying to be all like secret and like do little ambushes, and then I'm standing in front of them like, yeah, it's a great angle. They were a great bunch of lads who sort of I was obviously role playing it a little bit as this photographer.
Yeah.
So but it was a lot of fun and the photos were really good. So the organizer for ARC I asked if I'd like to go along and take photos, which is quite a nice compliment, but I'd never done it before. So that was ArcLight, the one near you, and they've just announced they're going to run another ArcLight next year. So
it looks like you'll be there then, will you?
Oh yeah, and that one will be August. So, and I don't know of many events that run in August that I would go to. So I think I'm a shoo-in. Yeah, I'll be there for sure.
Talking about events in August, we have the National Airsoft Festival coming up. Is that something that you've been to before?
I've been to before, yeah, years ago when I used to be in an airsoft team and attend lots of skirmishes and weekenders and invite-only events up and down the country. But I've not been to it in a long time.
And Sarah, you'll be going?
I definitely am, yeah. I've heard there's not as many people going this year, and I don't know if that's because they haven't got the shop there or what, but yeah, there's not as many numbers as I've seen in previous years. So it could end up being quite a small event in the end. Usually it's about 3,000 players, isn't there?
Wow.
Yeah, so right now it is, if you're listening to this on the podcast, it is the 29th of July and there are 1,750 players booked on.
That's still a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a lot of people still. Yeah, and I think we got probably 10 days to go. Or have we got bookings open until the 12th? So 24 days. That doesn't right. No, 24 days till the event opens. So, but yeah, about 10 days to go, haven't we?
Yeah, I reckon they'll hit over 2,000.
Hope so.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, I think you'll see people booking last minute. It's just been payday, so I think we'll probably see in the next.
100%.
I mean, I haven't booked my camping spot yet. I was waiting for payday myself. So there's a lot of people like that going, yeah, but I'll wait for payday. And that event lands perfectly on the next payday. So there's your drinking money. So it should be a really cool event. This will be my second year going. First year I went as a player. This year I'm just going for the camping. A little bit cheaper for this time around for me. But it's a cracking event. It's a really cool social event, though, that's for sure. I don't think the airsoft's taken too seriously, but I never had issues. I know there are people who've had issues there, but I never had any issues last time I went. So have you had any issues?
I just found that I walked for a very, very long time and didn't find anybody to shoot. And when I did, it was a big surprise because there was a bunch of people around the corner. But it's a massive site, so to actually get engaged in something, you need to be in a group.
Yeah, I was going to say, I played with guys who I think have been there. I think this is their 6th or 7th year now, something like that. So they knew where all the contact places were. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. And it's like, right, I'll just follow you. And we had non-stop action from start to finish.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you don't know where you're going and you're on your own, it can be a lonely trek.
Yeah. I often end up wandering off on my own.
Well, I'm looking forward to that, and we're definitely going to be talking about it closer to the time. And I think we'll probably have a show after NAE. and kind of summarize what we thought of it, what we liked, what we didn't like, and whether there's a competitor coming up, because we just had Paint Fest and Airfest this weekend. Did anyone see that?
I've seen a few drunk photos, but nothing more than that.
Yeah, I commented on someone's post earlier on. I was like, all these photos you've uploaded, I've not seen one airsoft photo yet.
No.
There are drink photos, there are partying photos, there are entertainment photos, shall we say.
Yeah.
I was like, I've not seen any airsoft yet. There's a paintball versus airsoft tug of war going on. I was like, this is an interesting event. Looks more like a V festival than
yeah. Without the music.
Yeah. But as commented there in chat, Rainfest would be the name of it for this year, because it was rather wet. I do know some people packed up early to home on the Sunday because they couldn't get anywhere without being soaked all the way through. And that's my hope for NAE. This year it's dry, because I know last year was very wet. So we shall see on that front. The other thing I want to talk about before we kind of really start digging in more with Callum here is a gun that's been announced. It's not out yet, still in development. It's got a lot of people's backup, and it's called it's called the SSG-1. And if you've not seen it, there is photos on my channel. These were made by US Airsoft, so credit goes to him here. But this is the SSG-1, which is not a Novrich product. It's not a rifle to go with his pistol. It is a rifle to go with his sniper rifle even. It stands for Speed Soft Gun 1 by G&G Armaments. And I can already see comments coming in there going, nope, don't like that one. So this is G&G's latest developments. If you're just listening and not watching and you haven't seen the photos, we're talking about a rifle here that's got an angled stock, very much paintball-esque, we shall say. We have a paddle trigger, again, like a paintball trigger. So that's an extended trigger, so you can put two fingers on there and flap away as much as you can. We have essentially an outer rail with very little rail space, but an integrated tracer unit, and it's kind of like a carbon fiber, very ARP9 color scheme. Now, there is definitely a lot of haters out there, and I can see some questions already coming in about this. It is only development right now. Sarah, as the more non-military, speed soft, high cap warrior of the group, drum mag user, what's your thoughts on this?
For the record, I have not got a drum mag yet. I have not bought one.
I love how you added yet.
Yeah, the emphasis was the yet.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I like the idea of them, but no, I have not got one yet. So where you got that from? But in terms of the SSG-1, I like it. I do like it. I like that G&G are trying to cater for different types of airsofters, because if the players don't ask for it, they're not going to develop it, and they'll just continually make the same versions of guns and just make certain changes, small changes, and we'll never get anything different. I had a look at some videos earlier. I know, I can just imagine what the comments are saying right now. It comes in loads of different colours, and that's what the Speed Softers like. They like their colours. Yeah, and I think, you know, if we don't ask for these different things, we won't get them. Sod people. If it upsets them, don't buy it. You know, they're catering for a certain market. And I think that's what we need to see now. We need to see different guns. We need to see different, types of guns to cater for different types of airsofters.
Obviously, this isn't based on any real steel variant. It is literally a mismatch
No, but
of speed softers.
It's different, and that's what I like. They've gone for something different rather than, oh look, there's another Evo, there's another M4. Oh, it just looks the same, but it's slightly different. Oh, it's just not exciting, and it's got people talking.
Yeah, I'd say I can't deny that. And there's a video online. I'll show it up on the screen very shortly here. where they talk about it. But yeah, it's definitely got people talking. It definitely got shared a lot. I know my own status got shared quite a bit. I know US Airsoft's got shared a heck of a load. G&G are riding on there. We've got retailers sharing it, saying how much they hate it in the UK. Before I share my opinion, Callum, what's your thoughts on this?
I mean, I would never own it, put it that way. But at the same time, just because I don't like it, it doesn't mean other people shouldn't. And Speedsoft, whether people like it or not, is becoming more of a thing. As you both said, if the players hadn't asked for it, it wouldn't exist. G&G, you've seen that there's a market for a gun like this. They've developed it. It's getting more shares than almost anything else going on in the community and industry right now. I can't think of anything else being talked about right now other than this gun. So I mean, whoever's in charge of their PR and marketing have absolutely smashed it. So yeah, I mean, it's not for me. But at the same time, not all airsoft stuff is for everyone. Not all events are for everyone. Not all kits for everyone. So kudos to them for trying to do something a bit different. And if it doesn't work, they won't do it again. But I suspect we'll start seeing a lot more retailers start coming out with stuff for the Speedsofters.
I think that is so true. I think Charlie from G&G is very much laughing at the entire situation because I know how much he enjoys the drama around this. And I want to say I blame every single airsofter out there, every airsofter that has an ARP9, because you started this. This is how it starts. You bought the ARP9. It's a hideous 9mm carbine rifle, and it sold so well for G&G that you have now enabled G&G to launch something like this because it became a Speedsoft weapon. It became the type of thing that everyone wanted for CQB, and the complaints were, oh, the stock's not great. You know, I want a tracer unit. I want to get better triggers. And you saw that G&G now create multiple colors, you know, different trigger sets, different trigger colors. And it's disgusting, but I think it is absolutely going to sell like crazy. And I'm gutted to say that. What worries me is how airsoft in the last 2 years has gone so more Speedsoft. And it's not a problem. I don't mind Speedsoft, but it's not my type of gameplay. I like the military aspect. I like the plate carriers. I like, you know, I'm all for people wearing full face masks, but I personally wouldn't do it. Yeah. I wear mesh when it's crazy CQB, but whenever possible, I'll pull that off. But I do think that we're seeing a trend. You know, how many dye masks are we seeing now? And even then in the groups, people going, oh, yeah, you know, I need a mask that's giving me better protection. And it's like dye. And I'm like, well, that's the Speedsoft answer.
Yeah.
Not like get a helmet. I think that it's definitely opened up Speedsoft more heavily in airsoft. I think we're going to see a big change. And I know a lot of the UK guys were going, oh, but it doesn't. It kind of muddies the water over the legal definition of airsoft for our legal system, in terms of it's realistic imitation firearm, but Speedsofters don't look like the military and law enforcement. So I definitely think there needs to be some kind of difference there. Yeah. Maybe it's like if you own a rifle like this, you have to wear Lycra and you can't say you play airsoft. I mean, I think we should go with that route. You know, you just can't say you play airsoft. You know?
Yeah, I feel like we're opening ourselves up to a lot of Lycra that no one needs to see.
Yeah. Nobody asked for that. Yeah. I do know there are plenty of Speedsofters out there who have saw my posts. And again, I'm all for watching Speedsoft grow. I think it's a very cool element, but it's just not my scene. But there is definitely that muddy of water. And I already know by the comments here, we've got Kill It With Fire. Lots of fire. You know, no go. Gaz Perkins there is saying it's great. I think Speedsoft's using those is a great way to separate Speedsoft from airsoft, which by legal definition isn't Speedsoft. And there we go. That's kind of what I was saying earlier on. I hate that weapon. It's bleeding awful coming there from Lone Pete. It's just the trigger's wrong. It is definitely a case of people there are jumping on there. And we've got Gaz saying there that this doesn't count as a realistic imitation firearm. It counts as an imitation firearm because it's not a real rifle.
Yeah.
It's a very tight area though, because if it's in black like that, we shall see what's happening. But at the same time, we do have some fans for it. Airsoft Cam Man is tuning in live, and he's saying he's buying one. He likes it. I want to say I actually like the look of it. That's the weird thing. I like the look of it. I just know what type of users are going to use it, and that terrifies me.
Yeah, the one problem I can see with it is because it's got that paintball, as you said, flappy trigger.
Yeah.
For any CQB site that's semi-auto only, I can see a lot of arguments coming out from people. People accusing people of using full auto, but they've just been, technically not full auto, and I can just see arguments because of it.
Yeah, and it's when someone puts like a Polar Star Fusion engine in there anyway.
Yeah, which
is it going to be? Yeah, is it any different to what it is now? Is it more of an aesthetic? But people are already doing this, aren't they? They're already putting the longer trigger on the ARP9s, and sites are starting to chrono as well as check your round of fire, but your rate of fire and how many rounds you're firing through. But realistically, if you're in single shot, how can that? You could go really easy on the chrono and then wait until you get out on the field and just open up on everyone.
I think what I saw from the video, it's going to have 3 settings and it's going to have a 3-round burst on it. But people do that with a normal trigger anyway, don't they? So it's not going to be any different. It's just a different style of trigger, a paintball style trigger, which appeals to the speed softers. Yeah,
but it only appeals to them because they are getting that advantage over people, aren't they? The fact is they can get 2 shots off by the time you get 1 off, in the most basic terms.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting one. There are people here saying in the chat there that it's already been banned in several US sites because of a trigger. Obviously, they've got quite strict firearms laws over there, and certain accessories like the triggers and the stocks definitely encounter legal situations. And we have got other suggestions here saying it just shouldn't be allowed to be black in the UK, so it can't be seen as a realistic imitation firearm. But it's an interesting one. I can't wait to see the time scale on this, but I think they're going to sell fast, even in the UK.
Yeah, I think they will too.
And
purely just for the controversy that's been surrounding it.
And I think G&G have been influenced by the fact that the ARP9's done very well. There's this kind of caliber, small style weapon is what people are going for. And we all know that, having, a longer 14-inch rifle is not going to be any better than a 9-inch rifle, realistically.
No.
So they're going for these smaller carbines. It's going to be very interesting for sure. But, estimates 2020. So we've got a while to go yet. We'll just watch the drama unfold over the time.
Oh yeah, I look forward to when they finally drop and the whole thing blows up all over again.
Yeah, people already compared it to the faulty mic of bands. It's like, wow.
God, yeah. Do you remember the drama over that? That was insane.
Yeah, and then we've had the master mic, and that one seemed to go relatively pain-free. And the new one's their latest grenade. People are talking about latest grenade now. Poor Airsoft Innovations, they are constantly under fire.
I don't think they mind. It's free publicity,
Yeah, I also think that over here, Airsoft in the UK is definitely so much different to other countries. And I think that they look at us and go, what the hell are you complaining about?
Yeah, I think that for sure.
And I mean, that seems to be very much the general trend by a lot of people, a lot of, I want to say more experienced players, not necessarily all of them, but we see a lot of people crying about being hit too many times or whatever. And it definitely seems that in the UK, we are a little bit more reserved or want to be more reserved when playing Airsoft and forget that it's a contact sport. I think some people out there. But that's definitely a conversation for another time.
Yeah.
Because I know it's going to cause a lot of aggro over the years.
That's a whole nother show.
Yeah. So Dust Monkey, talking about your kit, and obviously you've changed over time. What is your favorite era of prop making, of costume making? And I know that you must go through phases of what you like and don't like. But what's really been stand out for you?
At the moment, I mean, I'm still like loving the Great War aesthetic, although my take on it I've decided to call Dark War, because I've done so much of it now that I needed to come up with something that wasn't people going, that's diesel punk or it's steampunk. No, it's neither. I'm going to come up with my own name. So I love those looks. Then those tend to be the ones that get people going mad on social media about it. So yeah, definitely my own take on sort of Great War aesthetic, but with like a post-apocalyptic twist. That's still my favorite, and I'm currently I've done English, I've done German. I've done a lot of German that seems really popular with people wanting to buy like World War I style German trench raider kit. And I'm currently working on a Russian. There it is. Yeah, that's the one.
There we go.
And I'm currently working on a Russian World War II one, which is that thing right there, with the PPSH behind it as well. And then I'm also doing a Japanese one as well, which has been really difficult.
And what goes into kind of your design aesthetics? Obviously, you use real life inspiration there, but I mean, this is weathered to say the least.
Oh yeah, I beat it up good.
Trying to explain for someone who's never kind of thought about this. What's the kind of process for something like that, and how long does it take you?
So the full build of that also had full metal greaves, which is lower leg protection and knee. It also had shoulder armor. Then there was also a bag which the gas mask hose went into, and had the rebreather unit in there. And then I think there were some other bits and bobs for that as well. But essentially, the guy contacted me and said he wanted a German version of my British trench raider. And I said, okay, have you got any more ideas other than that? And he went, no. I said, I trust you. So I just went and did a load of research. So the gas mask is a Russian one from like the 70s, but I had one in the workshop and I used it to prop up the helmet while I was painting the helmet. And I went, oh, that really works. So it became part of the design. But it was an accident. I just had it. I literally used it to prop the helmet up, and I thought that looks really good. That looks like it belongs together. So, and then the armor. The helmet is a genuine World War I German helmet. The armor is inspired by German World War I trench armor, but I adjusted the design to make it actually wearable. Because armor back then, obviously during World War I, the comfort of the soldier was not remotely the priority.
Yeah.
So a few changes were made, and then the webbing is of my own design. So all the straps, which are fully adjustable, front and back, are German from like the 70s or 80s, and then the pouches at the front are Swedish from World War II. The greatcoat is a genuine. It's a copy of an actual German World War I greatcoat. So it's a fine line between historically inspired and stuff I come up with on the fly.
I must say that's absolutely incredible. And then there we go. I'm just trying to grab the photo there of the armor piece. And again, if you are listening to the podcast, we will make sure that the images are available in the show notes, because it's definitely something to look at. But that's absolutely great.
Yeah, I've also just realized one of the inspirations for this was the anime, which has now been made into a feature film by Netflix called Janro, or Wolf Brigade. If you haven't seen it, I strongly recommend you watch it, because it's an awesome film / anime. But the armor in it is like next level cool.
I just imagine turning up to a skirmish day, an airsoft skirmish day, wearing that. It'd be like, oh my god.
Yeah, one of the comments I get the most is people saying, please never wear that to a 24-hour event where I might run into you in the dark. Because I not only do I suspect I might scare people, but people have flat out told me you would petrify me.
Yeah.
Which means I'm really tempted to do it and maybe install like lights in the eyes, so at night all you see are like
just a nice glow.
Yeah.
There's the trench one.
Yeah. Much like Zoolander, I only have one pose.
I did notice a status about that. Yeah. It's Man, that's some two brilliant loadouts there.
Yeah, they're both
so different from each other.
Yeah.
Both a lot of fun, and obviously the sci-fi Army of Two one I couldn't have done without the help of Apex.
Yeah, we were getting comments coming in saying how much people love what you've done with the Apex armor.
Yeah, I mean he's made a really fantastic product, and it is really robust. And he's actually about to send me another suit, and he's been sending me pictures today because I think he's calling it. He's had various designs. I think he's on like the Mark III or Mark IV now because he's constantly refining like the design and how the plates like move with each other. And also, obviously, because the original ones are all built on the Osprey, but getting Ospreys that aren't utterly wrecked is becoming really difficult. So he's now does all his new designs are based around not needing it to be on the Osprey. But I think he's the current one's like a Mark III or a Mark IV, and that's what he'll send out to me. And I'm deciding how I'm going to paint that. I kind of want to do black again, but that's 2 in a row, which is a bit dull. So I might just go something truly mad, like something a bit Mass Effect or something. Don't know.
Fantastic.
And what's it like for your creative aspect? I see a lot of people that say, "Oh, I want this loadout, I want that loadout," and most people are talking about very samey loadouts, or they're using real world inspiration of a military unit or whatnot. But do you ever kind of get almost bored or stuck with these kind of creative elements, or is it like I've got so many loadouts in my mind, I just need to figure out which one?
No one's ever come to me wanting anything dull. They've come to me with stuff that I really didn't like doing, but it wasn't like dull. It was just like not my thing. It's sort of like, I'm sure like every chef has got that dish that they hate doing, but people really like it and they just hate it. So yeah. But I mean, I've never had anyone that's messaged me go, "Oh, I want this exact loadout, but a bit dirty." People tend to come to me because they want something like out there, like a full set of Apex done up, like Army of Two, or like a German trench raider, or like a World War II Russian. So I tend to attract the weird and the wonderful.
I was going to say there's a very almost dark aesthetic to a lot of your designs, and more about what people want in loadouts. This post-apocalyptic style is very much a trend, and it's one of those things where I see a lot of people wanting to attend those events. And we, weirdly enough, went to the same event probably 5 years ago now, or 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. I think the amount of people who were at that event was, I mean, who now are, only just finding out they were there together.
Yeah. I was going to say, that was that status the other day, and then a load of people are like, "Oh yeah, I was there," and I was like, "Blimey, I didn't even know you back then."
Every single comment was, "I was there too."
Oh.
But I mean, your post-apocalyptic stuff is absolutely insane. From all the photos, from designs.
I mean, so the ones you're sharing now, a lot of these were taken from the events that I used to run.
Yeah.
So I won't take credit for a lot of the work because it was a lot of it was so that one right there. That was a player, so that's all him.
Wow.
Yeah, people really went to a lot of effort for our events, which is appreciated because we went to a lot of effort putting them on. So it's nice that people gave back. So
it's very sort of Mad Max style.
Yeah. So our event was sort of like Mad Max meets like Waterworld meets Metro, but it was all set in the UK, so it was a lot of fun. Oh, just a road war video.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've got to cover all areas here. We've looked at some Vietnam stuff, we've looked at some more sci-fi stuff, and now we've got the road war coming up. Which is, I think this is the first video that I showed Sarah, I think last week or the week before.
Yeah.
And again,
Loaded is amazing. It's the best event I've ever been to in my many years of attending events. I
just found it funny that you turned around and came back to finish them off.
Oh yeah, I mean, why not?
Brilliant.
So for anyone listening, we are literally talking about essentially airsoft in vehicles, Mad Max style.
Oh yeah, full blown, as close to Fury Road as you'll ever get. Yeah.
And do you go to this one every year? Is this like
Yeah,
a must-have attend?
The minute these went on sale, I booked my ticket. Like, there's nothing will stop me attending this event. Literally nothing.
And where is this?
Sweden. This is a couple of hours from Stockholm.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I watched a video of yours where you went to an event. I think it might be the same one. They had their own television network and their own radio station, and
there's so much there that I didn't see and didn't mention, because the plan was do a vlog in the beginning of every day, at the end of every day, and then try and get some like footage just during the day.
Yeah.
But I was in such a constant state of like, oh my god, everything here's so cool, that I just forgot. When you're having too much fun to do stuff like remember to set all the cameras up, and because it takes people don't realize when you're filming at events, it's a lot of faff. You've got all your batteries, all your memory cards, you've got to set the cameras up. For an event like this, I've got to try and make sure that the cameras are hidden, so that they're not obviously a camera
aesthetically pleasing.
I've got to make sure everything blends in, so it's it's a real effort to do it. And but after I did vlog the first day, vlog the second morning, and then from then on I was just having too much fun. I was like, and by the end of the event I was like, oh man, I was so much I didn't get on camera, but then at the same time I was having too much fun too. So it's not like with my social media stuff and filming at events, I just do it as and when for fun. I'm not reliant on popping out a new video every week. So but this time I'm going to really try and get some more footage, because it's just such a unique and wonderful event, and everyone puts in so much effort. I mean, there's like 40 vehicles like that,
Wow.
So there was one firefight we got in, so the group I was sort of attached to had 4 cars, 2 motocross bikes and 1 quad. And we got involved in a rolling firefight, and by rolling I mean our vehicles being chased by like 8 other vehicles, and so it was literally us driving away from them, like me in the back of that 4x4 just like dumping mags into the floor of the car and then just like slapping another one in and going again. And eventually we so many of us had run out of ammo that we dumped our cars in the middle of the road so that they couldn't pursue us anymore. We just dumped our cars. They all debunked to chase us. They came across another faction and had a firefight. And while we're running away, we couldn't use any of our PKMs. Every car had a pintle mounted PKM on top. But the only way of firing it backwards would be to climb onto the windshield while driving to chase the other way. So when we all went and hid, they had another fire came back to where the vehicles were, and we'd all got back into our vehicles. Now they've got 4 machine guns, which we hadn't fired a shot at. So it was and like the look on their faces as they got closer to the cars, and they went, they're back in there. Oh yeah, we're dead. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. And I got brought a cigar in the middle of the firefight by someone, which I thought, could I be more British right now? I'm being delivered to me in the middle of a firefight. So a huge amount of fun. The honesty amongst all the players there is phenomenal. Despite doing nutty stuff like driving around in Mad Max cars and having firefights, at no point did I ever feel unsafe. There was like 0 injuries. But an event like that couldn't exist in the UK. Can you imagine a load of Mad Max vehicles driving around, like shooting each other and having pyrotechnics go off? Like, I can't.
Good luck with insurance.
I wish.
So I mean, one of the groups there, so I think it might have been in one of the vlog videos, they actually built a floating shanty town in the middle of this lake.
I saw that in the video.
Yeah, and the only way of getting out there was to use a pulley system on a little raft to go out. And at one point that group left, but they had some like really important sort of like items over there. So people went over like knife in teeth, pirate style. No armor on in case they fell off and drowned. To go and nick like in-game items and then come back again before they got back. So It was not. You couldn't have paid me to go over there. I was like, I don't know you guys well enough to trust your engineering skills.
How do you get your kit over there, or do you drive it?
God, no, I don't know. Driving it just reading would be nuts. All my guns I shipped over.
Oh, okay, so you ship it beforehand.
Yeah, so I shipped it all over. My case did get opened by border control, but I guess they didn't find any problems. So nothing was broken or taken. So,
and that must be the weirdest suitcase someone opens up for the day. This post-apocalyptic, and you know what? It's probably not the weirdest thing they open all day.
No.
I mean, if you ever watch any of those TV shows about border control, they get some weird stuff in luggage.
And you featured on episode 2.
Them going, oh, airsoft guns now, you're fine. That's probably quite boring for them. Like, oh, yeah, whatever. Next bag's like 10 kilos of cocaine. They're like, oh, there we go.
Or a whole luggage case of sex toys.
Every border control agent's dream.
It's a normal day for them, isn't it?
So looking forward, obviously you've done a lot of game inspirations. One of the biggest talking points of E3 this year, Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh my god, I can't wait for that game.
I knew you would, because you like these type of games, so I presume we can expect a heavily inspired.
I mean, the weird thing is, because I've seen, obviously, I've been waiting for this game for years, and I'm a massive fan of CD Projekt Red, who are the game developers anyway. But of all the costume designs so far in the game, none of the main characters got me excited. It was all like the military people you saw in the background. I was like, oh man, their armor looks awesome. I'll do that. And I just, for that, really, I've got 2 of the SRU kits here at the moment. One for their AK and one for the G-Spec. So I'm going to be building those pretty soon and probably painting them up to look a little bit, cyberpunk. I might add some, like, lights in there or something just to make it really scream over the top. When I get around to building them, which I'm not looking forward to at all, because I've even been emailing SRU about the AK-47, because they say their kit's made for the standard TM-47, and I messaged them because looking at it, just the picture, I went, but the TM-47 definitely the battery's in the stock, but for this kit there is no stock. And so I emailed them this, and I was like, it doesn't make any sense. Is it definitely the full stock variant? And they went, no, it is. Here's a picture. And they sent me a picture of the folding skeleton stock variant. I was like, that's not the full stock variant. That's a skeleton stock. And they went, oh no, we know that's not the right one. We were just showing you as an example. And I was like, example of what? The wrong gun? I'm confused. Where does the battery go? And they went, oh, up top. And I replied, that's not where it goes in the gun you're telling me this is for. So anyway, eventually I'm just going to have to I might film making it, because I strongly suspect it's going to be full of swear words and much anger as I slowly find out that this kit doesn't just plug and play. I'm looking forward to adrenaline in my life.
I've only seen one of their kits in person, held one for kits, and that was the Mark 23 one, which came out more recently.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed, I'll be honest.
What in the finish? Or
yeah, just I've seen people 3D print stuff at a higher quality, and it could have just been the way it's put together, and maybe just needed a bit of TLC from the person that had it. But I was just like, oof.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely tell that they're 3D printed. Like, and you haven't got to look at really closely. You can, when you open the box, you're like, oh yeah, this has been 3D printed. But the quality of the print is very good. It is robust. Because that was my initial concern, because I'm not the most delicate person with stuff, which is why I love guns that are all real steel and wood. Yeah, the risk of me breaking them significantly drops. Although saying that, my LCT M60 is currently with an engineer because I managed to wreck that. So we won't talk about that. I might cry. So the build quality is good, but the finish isn't amazing. But I can fix that. That's not a problem. The biggest headache for me has been how little information they put out about how to actually install the kit. And the fact that when you email the company, they give you wrong information.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
No, it's like emailing Samsung customer support about your new TV, and they show you, which plug I need for this, and they show you like, no, that's a toaster. I'm asking for a TV. So yeah.
And let's be fair, they do produce some really nice bits of kit. I know you had the what was the film? Elysium. Yeah, there we go. The Elysium kit, essentially.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but even that apparently. So one of the other writers at Airsoft Action got this, and he said even this was not easy. And looking at it, you'd think it would just plop on, but apparently not. So.
But I like from aesthetically looking at the stuff, I like it. I mean, there's a lot of this stuff that's very Mass Effect-y, I'd say.
Yeah, these are kits that you buy and you put together yourself.
Yeah,
so you put them over your rifle.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Right.
Yeah. So and they say, like, so for the AK bullpup, they say, this was designed for the TM. If you buy like a Cymer and try and fit, it won't fit perfectly. You will have to do a bit of fiddling. So that's the one. That's one of the ones I've got, the VSR 10. But I'll be installing it with the G Spec because I like the G Spec. But yeah, look forward to a very angsty video.
So we're gonna get a time lapse of this one.
Yeah, I'll do it David Attenborough style. Maybe I'll just narrate over it. And here you see a very angry man.
Yeah.
That's the AK. I think that looks cool as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, completely. I think it looks really cool. It looks different. You'd be the only one that goes on the site that has one. I think that's the cool thing about this.
Yeah.
And they're not crazy priced either. That's the big
thing.
No,
they're not. I mean, when you factor in the cost of the donor gun and the kit and the time, they're not cheap, but they are very unique. And as you guys were saying earlier, in reference to the new G&G, it's nice to see someone doing something different.
Yeah.
And with these kits, are they, once it's on the gun, is it a permanent thing, or can it be?
I'll answer that when I've actually fitted. I mean, I don't think. I mean, according to SRU, you haven't got to start dremeling and cutting. It should just go in and work. So, I mean, but look, go back to that AK one. Tell me where the battery goes. In the TM, you all know it goes in the stock.
Yeah.
According to SRU, that's not where it goes.
That's really interesting, yeah, because they've completely taken away the stock on this image. There is no stock. Oh.
Yeah, but that's where the battery goes. So it obviously requires a rewire, which is fine, but they tell you it just plugs in. Like, no, it doesn't. It clearly doesn't.
There's no space down the buttstock.
Nope. That's solid.
So it is a matter of modifying the base gun then. So your gun would completely change. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one is definitely going to be a case of rewiring the battery to go in the the top compartment on the AK, which is fine. I just want them to acknowledge this.
Yeah.
It's a shame that these things aren't just a snap on and go thing, and once you're done, you can unsnap it. And
well, I think for all the pistols,
some are, aren't they?
Yeah, for all the pistols, it is literally you put your pistol inside, and there you go, done.
Yeah, I mean the one we're looking at right here, the Glock carbine kit, that is pretty much pop it in there, and it'll lock into place.
Yeah,
and it'll move the slide when you pull back the charging handle just to the right hand side of that, and that'll be it. It's very much like the Ronin kits.
Yeah.
But I know King Arms make, and it's the same thing. You can plug it in, but they do have some of the kits where you use the pistol receiver, but not the top end, and it's essentially half it. So that at that point, you can't exactly just disconnect it and have your pistol back. You'd have to reassemble your pistol. Not a big job, but it is a case of you essentially just donor in to go on top of the body kit.
Yeah.
But as I say, no one's going to go on site and have one like that with you. And if you've got something like that, it's definitely going to capture the attention. Or if you are doing, especially a lot of this stuff is a futuristic kit. This is kind of, if you've already got a loadout to go with it, this definitely finishes it off to stand out, doesn't it?
I mean, that's what I'm going to do with the two kits I've got here. When I've got the Apex armor down, I'll decide what the overall color scheme will be, and then the armor and the guns will match, and it will be a full, like, you know, Elysium Neil Blomkamp inspired loadout.
Yeah, it's
I've
very.
also got DevTac sending me one of their helmets, which I'm going to paint up for it as well.
They're the Ronin helmets, right?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Ronin mentioned in two areas there. Yeah.
Someone sent DevTac a picture of that Apex armor I painted, and then I got a friend request from the owner of DevTac, and we just got talking.
Wow.
And he was like, "We should probably send you one of our helmets to paint to go with the armor." I'm okay with that.
Oh, wow.
So that's happening, which is kind of weird and wonderful, but yeah.
Well, I think that's awesome. And I love seeing the stuff you do. I mean, it's a really cool way, totally different in Airsoft. And obviously, why you don't just do Airsoft stuff. There's so much crossover there. If you're into your games, you're into your LARPy stuff, your post-apocalyptic, your Vietnam era, and some crossover between all the eras in one uniform or one outfit all at once.
Yeah, but at the moment, though, I'm actually building for the first time in ages a not in, I'm going to make it look dirty, but, you know, normal loadout, which is that one, which is inspired by for the game Escape from Tarkov. They've done some live action, like, short films.
Yep.
And it's like Russian PMCs essentially. So yeah, I've building that at the moment with some lovely help from the people over at Grey Shop. So
Very nice.
yeah, but it's not weird and wonderful and crazy. It's all actual kit. It'll just look a little bit dirty.
Normal.
Yeah, well, it's as normal as I'm going to get.
Yeah.
Even then, it's still weird and wonderful Russian kit rather than anything Western. And although Russian kit, I think a couple of years ago, started to see a real increase, I think that sort of started to drop off again.
Yeah, definitely. The last year, I've gone to a lot of events where Russian kit was everywhere. It almost became a new multicam for some of the events I was going to. I think, you know, Grey Shop have been one of the big contributors towards that. There's a few Russian retailers who have been making it very easily available in the UK.
Yeah, definitely. There's I mean, in the UK now, one of the guys that has helped me source stuff direct from Anna, which are one of the Russian manufacturers, is Russ for Life. Who's just like he's super knowledgeable, super friendly guy, and he helped me get the base armor for that because it was out of stock everywhere. And as it turned out, he got the last one direct from Anna in Russia, because apparently the rest had all gone off to Russian SF units because they love it. So, I mean, that's a pretty good testament. It must be a good rig if, you know, the last one I got is because the Russian special forces went, we're having the rest. So, anyway, but yeah, it's a great piece of kit. It's pretty lightweight, which I'm not used to. So,
yeah, people saying there, it's because it's lush. Yeah, it's definitely a cool camo.
I do love my Digiflora. I've got a full Russian paratrooper loadout, and that's all Digiflora. I absolutely love it.
That's very, very cool stuff. Well, I think that is it for the show. Callum, thank you so much for coming on. Third time on the show. For anyone who wants to find out more, potentially wants to look at some of the work you do, or get their own work done from you, how can they get in touch?
Well, there's www.dustmonkeyapparel.com, which is my new website. And then on social media, it's just at Dust Monkey Apparel, and that's Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. It's all the same for all three because it's way easier that way.
I agree.
Yeah, I used to juggle different names on every platform, and I thought, I've got to streamline this. I can't remember what I'm called. So, yeah.
And it is in the chat right now if you want to click straight through to the website there. Callum, thank you so much for coming on. And I'm really looking forward to the Cyberpunk loadout when you get to it, because I'm excited for this game. It's been a long, long time coming.
Yeah, mate.
I love
you just stand behind me and you'll never get hit.
Well, looking forward to it. And we should definitely sort out a game. I still need to get to the school myself, so maybe we can sort that one out after NAE. So that'd be awesome. Sarah, have you been to the school yet?
I have,
feeling you have. Yes, I remember.
Yeah, a couple of years ago. Yeah, the stairs. the stairs. Nearly killed me. But no, it's a brilliant site. Love it. I preferred playing in the building rather than in the woodland.
They've kind of got their woodland CQB on the side, haven't they?
Yeah. No, it's a good site. Love it. Good fun.
Very cool. Sarah, you up to anything this week, or are you chilling out until NAE?
I am chilling out until NAF, NAE, whatever it's called.
Yeah, bad habits die hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not doing anything airsoft until the festival, so yeah.
Very cool. Callum, you got anything going on this week?
Recovering.
Or any upcoming events?
I'm recovering. And then recovering, and then in 2 weeks I'm off to another full contact tournament to commentate and do the live stream. So
will that be on your YouTube channel if someone wants to watch this?
Well, the live stream will be on the tournaments channel. But I'll be sharing all about it and vlogging while I'm there, and but I think like every top team in the world is going to be there. So all the Russians, all the Ukrainians, all the Polish. It's going to be good. It's going to be really good. So I look forward to it.
So forget the Fortnite tournament going on for the most money ever in gaming. You need to
that 16-year-old, a millionaire now. God damn it.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
I got into Fortnite.
The thing is, it's only going to be a few months until the Dota event comes out. I don't know if you're into gaming, but that's £30 million worth of prize funds.
What?
30 million, yeah.
I thought 3 million was a lot.
All basically kind of crowdfunded, because whoever bought skins for the game over the year, percentage of that went into the prize fund. So that tells you how much the game is making. But it'll be the biggest gaming bucket ever so far, £30 million. So you wouldn't mind coming in last at that point.
Yeah, they're probably still getting a decent amount of money, aren't you?
Yeah, you've got to, haven't you? Surely, unless they get 10 million to the winner, everyone else walks away with 250 quid. But it's going to be absolutely crazy. So yeah, definitely check that out. Go ahead and jump and like the Dust Monkey page on Facebook, Instagram, and definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel for when more content. Are you doing any more tutorials? I know you're doing them for a little while.
I keep meaning to. It's just the time. Because just as you know, setting up to do a video can take a good hour or two of prep either side, and then it's doing the content. And at the moment, I'm so busy with actually doing commissions that I haven't had the time to think about, what tutorial should I do next. So I might at some point. I mean, I've been really bad at my YouTube. I'm gonna fully own that. I swore to everyone on my page I'll do one video a month, and we're now on month 7. I've done 2 videos.
Yeah, that's pretty much like me. The last few months is like, YouTube's gonna have to wait beyond doing this live show. You've only got so much time in the day. Yeah,
exactly. And also at the moment, even if I was to film doing stuff, so much of what I do is covered by an NDA that I can't put pictures of it. I can't film it. I'm fairly positive I'd get a bit of a legal smack if I live streamed working on it. So.
Well, it's cool, and I'm glad to see it's all taken off so well. Thank you once again, Callum. I'm actually going to be off next week. I'm on holiday for the week. So I won't be here for the show. So it may go on, it may not. We may just take a week break, I think. But we'll definitely decide that in a week and announce the guest during the week. If not, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Callum, once again.
Thanks for having me, mate.
And of course, Sarah, thanks for being here on the show again.
No worries.
Guys, check out Dust Monkey, and if not, we shall see you next week, hopefully. If not, the week after, Monday, 8 p.m. on Airsoft Radio. Bye for now. Brilliant timing for the Windows.